Hello, and welcome back to my Endless Space 2 guide for beginners, mainly beginners and anyone else who wants to just cherry pick little tidbits of knowledge that I might be able to bestow upon you. That was awful, I'm sorry. So today's topic, as you can see by the title, is going to be systems and planets. I'm going to be quickly going over which what goes into systems and planets and what you kind of want to look out for. I recommend you watch these all in chronological order. I think I've already said that, I'm not sure. Anyway, okay, so here I have loaded up my Riftborn playthrough, and let me just make sure a little something. Yep. Okay, so first, what is on the roster? Right, so star types. So very quickly, if you want to, you can. When you look at star systems, you can kind of get a general idea without even opening up this screen, yeah, and seeing all the little values. Without even doing that, you can just hover over, and it'll tell you what kind of star is in the middle of that star system. So for curious, anyway, there's a white star, and there's a description under that. Strong chance of harboring hot planets, and hot is just a it's a little descriptor. I can't even see it. That's not good. Is there a hot planet? Hey, so there's a little descriptor that goes over planets. Bam, hot. That was just lucky. Okay, and as you go through other ones, these are all white stars. There's a red one, red supergiant, and then this star has a good chance of harboring sterile planets. And so it's a good chance. It's not guaranteed, but it's something to look out for if you want. So when you're trying to choose a star system to colonize, there's a couple of things. There's three or four things to look at. First of all, you want to look at the planet. You want to look at the descriptors, obviously, but you want to focus on how much population can it hold. That's a pretty good determiner for me. There is such a thing as overpopulation. As soon as it starts dipping into this red bar, your people start getting upset, and you can see a breakdown of that. There it is. You can see what makes them happy, what makes them upset. Should you want to. So population size is something that I like to look at, and planet types is another very important thing. Also, what you want to look at, excellent, you want to look at anomalies. So these will randomly crop up on planets when you open them up. Originally, these will appear as curiosities. You know what? Let's see if I can even find them. I could probably find some down yonder. Is this blinking? This was blinking. Okay. Yeah. I get it. Okay. So here are anomalies, right? So this is what you'll see when you first start the game, and it will tell you. Sorry, no. These are curiosities. When you mouse over them, it will tell you what you have a chance of finding. This one is a high chance of anomalies. High chance of luxury or strategic resources. So you won't have all the information initially. You have to scan them and figure it out. But a very good thing to look at, like I mentioned, population slots, anomalies, right? Shoot, where is my system? Alcyon, where'd you go? You were a good example. Come back. Where'd you go? Fuck. Shit. Alcyon. I lost him. I'm blind, and I lost him. There. Why was I looking there? Okay, so good or bad, there will be anomalies. So when you hover over it, it will see what each one does. And as you unlock tech, you can get rid of these negative anomalies. There's an example somewhere in all of these systems, but I don't know where. But you can get the tech to nullify the bad effects. So it could be +1 industry per population and then -2 influence, right? Let's say. But when you get rid of it, it'll just be +1 voice crack. Wow, +1 industry instead of the -1 +1. So it'll just be the +1, and the other one will go back to 0. So that's just something to look out for. And lastly, and arguably the most important, is strategic and luxury resources. So let's just take a look. When you hover over your planets and you see all this, you can see these are the strategic resources. This is tier 1 strategic resources, tier 2, and tier 3. And you can see that on a little icon that these resources actually give benefits. If you see in the little description, +2 industry per population, +1 science. So that's the minor buff that you get from them, but most importantly, you want these resources. You want them on your side to build ships, to build buildings, but that comes later. So in addition, I just want to kind of talk over a couple of little things. So here I have just a random planet. But like I mentioned kind of earlier, there are certain buffs that come with certain populations. So once I open up this screen, I can see here this. I just conquered these guys, they're mutinous, so ignore that part. Okay, but you could see here the population breakdown of this planet, and when you hover over, you could see that I have 3 Lumeris. You know, I have, what are these guys? 1 Pulsos. Okay, I don't recognize those guys, but anyway, it'll show a breakdown of what you have, right? And as your empire expands, as you conquer more systems or expand into more systems or attract people naturally through immigration, you will get that. Okay, so I've spent ages trying to find this population screen, but you click on a star system, you open up, you see these little buttons here, you click on it, bam, it gives you the breakdown. It starts with your your starting civilization, the little crown, major population, okay? And here you have your buffs, your buffs. As you get 20 Riftborn throughout your empire, 50 Riftborn throughout your empire, you will get these little bonuses. And this applies to everyone. All the minor civilizations, the Voldiani, the major civilizations, the Horatio, they love food, they love reproducing. So I have a lot more Horatio than Riftborn. You know, and, you know, this is, okay, I accidentally hovered over this, I was going to explain later, but, you know, when you have certain luxury resources, you can make that, you can favor them and boost the effect that it gives. But I didn't want to go into that. I accidentally hovered over that. But so you might be saying now, well, you know, you told me all about population. That's great. That's cool. Now, why can't I? How do I get population? Right? So, as you might imagine, population is created through food. Okay, this is a bad example. Let's get out of this planet. Let's start. Here we go. Okay, so here you have the basic food. And if you hover over it, it shows a breakdown of how you're getting food, how you're losing food, and that creates population. The Riftborn, I believe I mentioned this, but they can be actually created through production, not through food consumption, which is interesting to note. So they don't actually need food to be sustained. Let's find the star system that I just conquered rather. Okay, so let's look at these guys. So these guys actually have -18 food, and if you hover over that, you'll see that it's -18 for mutinous, right? So after you conquer a system, they'll be mutinous for a little bit, and then during that time period, they're prone to lose population because it will dip into negative because of that, you know, -18. And it's percentage based, so if I find something with more, Alcyon? No. They love me. How about these guys? They're okay with me. These guys. Yes. You know, -143.3 from mutinous if you look at the very bottom. So, as you go about, it's percentage based, and you will go into the negative. That's the whole idea behind it. So, food as a major function helps you gain population, helps you maintain population, and as a little tidbit of information, once you get this tech, chlorophyll chemistry, which is tier 4 of, what is this section called? Empire Development. Just over here, second from the top, you can get this building, Super Biofuel Factory. So once your population is maxed out on a system, which is very easy to do, as long as you have, you know, the basic food buildings, all that extra food will get turned into production, which is super nice. And production can be later repurposed and to do other things. So that's, you know, the broad strokes, like I like to say, for systems and population. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.